I'm going to start out with some XPS insulation foam. I use a hot wire foam cutter to remove some of the foam and add detail to the terrain. I then use the hot wire cutter to cut away the area where the road will be, then sand it down. I create a thick terrain paint using plaster, Mod Podge, and pavement colored paint. I apply tape to the ends of the diorama and apply terrain paint liberally into the recessed cutout. After I'm satisfied with the road, I can use a dowel to smooth it out and move on to painting the rest of the terrain. I use a thin version of the terrain paint left over and paint the rest of the foam. I use a heating gun to quickly dry the terrain first and then move on to the road surface. Drying the road quickly gives it a warped and well-used surface texture. I paint the railroad crossing a brown wood color. I then paint the terrain with a yellow ochre paint. I like to use this color because it works well with washes to create a great dirt and soil base. I then apply my favorite model washes and use a brush to mix it into the terrain. I repeat this process until I'm satisfied with the results. Once the terrain has been painted and washed, it's time to add some grass. I paint the terrain with Mod Podge and apply a first layer of static grass. After I've applied the first layer, I paint Mod Podge onto the roadside and trackside areas and apply a second layer of static grass. After that, I lay down some marking tape onto the road and use a bright yellow paint to paint over it. I then remove the tape, leaving some double lines on the road that have definitely seen some better days. Once that's done, I can start laying the ballast down. I lay the ballast and smooth it out, then spray it with some detergent water to decrease surface tension, and then apply terrain glue. Once the glue is dry, I can place down the vehicles and figure out how I want them to be set up. After I determine their positions, I select the unlucky car and start cutting away part of its hood. I trim away the burrs and paint some details on the car, such as brake lights and a blue license plate. I drill a small hole into the terrain, apply some glue, and insert a railroad crossing sign. I then heat up one side of the car with the heat gun and use a wood stick to create a dent in one side of the vehicle. After that, I position it and make sure it fits. I then glue some wire anchors into the bottom of the car to hold it onto the terrain. Next up is selecting the bystanders from my bin of N-scale figurines. I select 3 that I think look suitable, dip their feet into some model glue, and glue them onto the terrain. These are meant to be the passengers of the unlucky car, so don't worry, they're all fine. After that's done, I just have to apply some finishing details and washes to the unlucky car, and then I'm almost done with the model. I now have a model train crash, complete with bystanders and a mid-air car being hit by a shunting locomotive. Please remember to always check for trains at any and all train crossings.